Okay, so now we're going to look at graphing the square root function or the radical function. So if we think about square root of x, I'm allowed to take square root of 0 and any other positive number, but not the square root of a negative. So that means my domain goes from 0 to positive infinity. Similarly, my output is always positive or 0, so 0 to infinity. I'm slowly increasing over time, but I am always increasing. So we say that the function is monotonic. If it's always increasing or always decreasing, that is monotonic. Just like functions that we've seen before, our general function is y equals a f of b x minus c plus, second parentheses d. So if I have a square root function, my f of x is the square root. So here we're saying f of x is our general square root function. A and b are not 0 because that would turn into just a horizontal line. So as we've seen, c horizontally transforms the graph and we go in the opposite direction. That's why we've got the minus c there. D moves our graph up and down. B causes a horizontal shrink or stretch. And we say that B stretches the graph by 1 over B. A vertically stretches the graph by A. So anything with the x we do in the opposite way. Anything outside of the x we do as stated. Also, if our a and b values are negative, then we would reflect over the x-axis or y-axis respectively. So let's look at an example of doing some transformations of the square root function. So a is a shift up 3. So I'm going to take every point and move them up 3. So I'm going to call this a little a. I'm going to move b up 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to call that b sub a. And then c, so at 16, square root of 16 is 4. Move it up 3, and I end up at 7. So I'm going to call that c sub a. So here is my, try and make a smooth curve. That's going to be the square root of x plus 3. I'm going to switch colors. Now we have a negative here and a negative here. We always go in alphabetical order for thinking about our A, B, C, D. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is my A value. So I'm going to reflect over the x-axis. And now this in here is a C value. So I'm going to move to the right, remember always the opposite, by 3. And this is the order that I do it in. So I'm going to reflect over the axis and then move to the right 3. So A stays the same for the reflection and then to the right 3. So that's going to be A sub little b. B reflects over and then moves to the right 3. C is going to reflect over, so I'm going to be down at negative 4 and then move to the right 3. So that's C sub b. And here I have B sub b. Again, trying to make a smooth curve that goes through your points. Hopefully you can manage that. I've sort of got it there. All right, so that's negative square root of x minus 3. All under the radical sign there. All right, again, I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So let's go with C. So I'm going to double the y values. And then I'm going to reflect over the y-axis. So 0 doubled remains 0. Reflect over, I remain in the same place. So A sub C. 2 doubled becomes 4, and then reflect over, and now I'm going to shift my label. Okay. So we doubled b to 4 and then reflected over to 4, -4 here. C, I'm going to double from 4 to 8, and then I'm going to reflect over to -16 and up at 8. So you can see we've got a vertical stretch here, our graph getting bigger but still going through the points that we've drawn. All right, so that's y equals 2 root -x, or f of x, however we want to describe it.